Police locked up 3 people today, but they still have a few more warrants to serve before the day is over. Officers say if you're dealing dope and you did not get caught this time, your day, well, it's closer than you think. The Florence County SWAT team and Timmonsville Police gave a wake-up call Tuesday morning to suspected drug dealers as part of Operation Clean the Streets. It was a nearly year-long investigation to get rid of what police are calling drug houses.
This is a result of an ongoing investigation that came to fruition now, and time was right to go ahead and execute the arrest and search warrants.
Timmonsville Police Chief Thomas McFadden says he gave his word to the community when he took office more than a year and a half ago that he was coming after drug dealers.
I promised the community once I took over that we'll make this town as safe as possible. Won't tolerate drugs or gun violence in this town.
Officers took 3 people into custody on various drug charges. McFadden tells me they seized drugs along with a few weapons, including an assault handgun.
The citizens around here want to live in peace and harmony.
Chief Thomas McFadden has a message for those who think they escaped this crackdown.
I know some people are going to be upset that they didn't get picked up in this first wave, but tell them they don't have to worry. If we didn't get them this time, we'll get them the next time.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Cooper. I'm the Chief of Police for Lake City Police Department. Today I come forth to advise and give an update on a murder that occurred in February of this year. On February 16, 2022, the Lake City Police Department received a call about an unresponsive young black male behind an unoccupied property on 223 Graham Road within the city limits of Lake City, County of Florence. Upon arrival of the Lake City Police units, the unknown black male was non-responsive. Officers on scene immediately notified emergency management personnel who attempted to locate a pulse on the unknown black male. The Florence County Coroner's Office was then notified to confirm what was obviously apparent. The victim was identified as Jaheim Tariq Hanna, who at the time of his death was 20 years of age. The Lake City Police Department immediately notified the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, commonly known as SLED, to process the crime scene. Upon initial preliminary investigation, it was discovered that the decedent sustained what appeared to be a single gunshot wound to the head. Prior to this heinous crime, a missing person report was filed by the family on behalf of Mr. Jaheim Tariq Hanna on 2/12/2022. In the days to follow, a lengthy investigation would include interviews with potential witness, forensic analysis, and video surveillance footage. That footage produced a person of interest into the murder of Jaheim Tariq Hanna. After submission of a signed affidavit to the municipal judge, probable cause was established to conclude that the individual responsible for the death of Jaheim Tariq Hanna under the South Carolina State Statute for murder is Caleb Toby McFadden. The suspect, Caleb Toby McFadden, was interviewed during this investigation. It was found to be deceptive and presented a story that could not be corroborated. During the time of this murder, the suspect, Caleb Toby McFadden, was in the company of the decedent, Jaheim Tariq Hanna, during the time of his sudden death. Warrants were obtained for the following charges: murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Additional charges and arrests may be forthcoming. Thank you. No, he's not. At the present time, he's not in custody. He's going to be sought after. We have enlisted the help of the State Law Enforcement Division and also federal entities.
You guys have an idea of where he's at, or is he on the run?
As of right now, we do not have a location as far as a residence. He has multiple locations, or at least multiple addresses in our system. So we're just going to try to pretty much ask for the help of the community if they see him, and we're going to provide a picture, a photo of him, and we're going to try to locate him on our own within the community. Now, it's possible he probably left the community, he absconded to another state, we don't know. So right now, we're just going to actually seek him out.
Is he expected to be armed and dangerous?
We have not recovered any type of weapon at the scene, so we can only surmise that he may be armed at this time.
Do we know if the victim and the suspect knew each other?
That is unclear at this time. During the preliminary investigation, we cannot conclude that they were related. in the sense of being a family member, but I think they were acquaintance because like I said, the video footage and the surveillance captured them throughout the city at different locations together for a period of time. We do not. We do not.
If someone has some information that they want to give you guys, how do they do that?
They can call the Lake City Police Department, or they can call Crime Stoppers for the PD, and that information will be forwarded to us.
Was there anything that kept the investigation going on this long? Obviously, this was back in February. Was there different things that kind of snagged the investigation until you figured out McFadden?
I wouldn't say snag, but we did have some, I guess, some variables that were put in place as far as, one, he was missing for a couple of days prior to him being located, the victim being located. And also we had to wait on forensic analysis coming from the State Law Enforcement Division, and also just actually running down trying to corroborate some of the stories based on potential witnesses and trying to narrow down a time frame. And we know from past experience that can be a problem, but we wanted to make sure we move methodical as possible and not just be hastily just place someone into custody. So we're very confident now that we do have an individual of interest, and that would be Mr. Caleb Toby McFadden.
Was there anything specifically that led you guys to Mr. McFadden as the person of interest?
Like I said, by his, I guess, being acquaintance of the decedent, Mr. Tariq Hanna, is the fact that, or Jaheim Tariq Hanna, is the fact that he knew him. We can establish that from family. We knew that he had a relationship with Mr. Hanna based on from the community, from the same city, and they're pretty much in the same age bracket. So we can conclude from that he did attend public school at one time, and they knew each other on at least maybe 2 or 3 occasions, going to different schools and growing up in the community at different events.
So what happens next in the investigation?
Well, right now, once we, I guess in a sense, for lack of a better term, locate Mr. Caleb McFadden and place him into custody, then the process can begin. This is going to be a long road because placing someone under arrest for the crime of murder does not mean that the actual investigation is concluded. We still have a process to go through, and it's a matter of bringing him in. Hopefully he'll cooperate either with or without an attorney or legal representation. He would cooperate and give us a backstory as to what happened. We know that every time something happens to this nature, when someone loses their life at an ungodly time, an untimely death, there are factors that involve. And I'm not offering any excuse for what happened. My job is pretty much to investigate and to make sure that the investigation is thorough and is fair, and to try to identify those individuals responsible. Only Mr. Caleb Toby McFadden can tell us as to why this incident happened. And we're hoping that he would cooperate and just give some closure to the family. That's the most important thing. Crimes of this magnitude, unfortunately, is going to happen. But I think at the end of the day, just some remorse and some closure to the family would help out. It's not going to be, I guess, it won't make a difference in the sense of bringing Mr. Hanna back, but it would give closure to the family.
Has McFadden had any prior criminal history?
In our system that we keep, as far as incidents reported, his name did come up several times for incidents within the community, throughout the city limits of Lake City. So he does have somewhat of a history. To the details of what his history, his criminal history, may indicate that he's involved in or convicted of, I don't have that information right now. And I think at this point, it's really a moot point right now, because right now we just need him for the answer to the charge of murder.